It is a wonderful life, right? The series is about cultivating an attitude of gratitude. And the first week's homework, I don't know if you remember, was to watch the movie, the old movie, It's a Wonderful Life. So show of hands. Who watched it? Okay. I watched the movie, and it made me cry a few times. But I have to say, when you do watch it, and this is to get the teenagers to watch it because they wouldn't otherwise, we do not promote a lot of what happens in that movie, like the treatment of women or the Italian or Irish stereotypes that are portrayed in the movie, and much, much worse. It's all in there from the 1930s. And it kind of reminds me of when my wife was gone, and I couldn't wait to show my kids the movie Blazing Saddles. And I watched the first few minutes in horror, looking for the TV box as the racism jumped off the screen and into my children's minds. Bottom line, focus on the story of George Bailey, a man who had it made, lost it all, and came to realize that he still had it made, but for different reasons. And that realization stemmed from an attitude of gratitude. So it's not about ignoring problems. It's not about false optimism. There are distinct benefits to living a life of gratitude. And we noted last week, faith is thanking God in advance for the blessings and seeing the blessings behind the burdens of our daily lives. And when St. Paul wrote that second reading, so well read by our lector, thank you, he was in prison in Rome for the crime of preaching Christ and the gospel. Christianity was considered subversive by the authorities then, and to many authorities still is today. So this is really a letter to these people in Philippi, in the church that Paul founded in the name of Jesus. And he says, brothers and sisters, I thank my God in all my remembrance of you, always in prayer and with joy, thankful for your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. The whole letter is sometimes called a thank you note from Paul to the people, and he's grateful for them, and he lets them know it. And that's it. That's today's message. It's very simple. Can you think of anyone like that in your life? Someone you are grateful for knowing or having known? And let me help you jog your memory. Someone from your past, like a teacher, a mentor, a coach, a friend who really invested themselves in your future. Or can you think of a person who is a blessing to you right now? You look forward to your time together because they are such a source of encouragement for you. For Paul, it was these people, the Philippians. From the first day when he met them until now, focus on this. At the end of the day, life comes down to two things: relationships and work. And as human beings, we're made to connect with one another. We need relationships. And at the same time, we have this drive, this desire to work, to accomplish. And in the best of our activities, both are being pursued and fulfilled. In the best of our activities, we're doing both of those. Paul remembers this, and he prays for his friends. It's my prayer that your love may abound more and more with knowledge and all discernment, so that you may approve what is excellent and pure and blameless for the day of Christ, filled with the fruits of righteousness, which comes through Jesus Christ to the glory and praise of God. So love simply means to be for someone else. And this kind of love that Paul is speaking about requires knowledge and discernment, kind of obvious. We have to know what is good for somebody that we love, and we have to be discerning about what they really need so that we can try to do that for them. If you're a parent or a good manager or a good friend, you know that. You can't just treat everyone the same, even though you have to treat everyone equitably. You have to know the person and discern which are the best circumstances for them and which are the best actions that you can take care of for them based on their situation. Paul prays they will grow in love by discerning and knowing how to love. And finally, he prays that the Philippians will be filled with the fruits of righteousness, which are attributes of Christ. You can look them up, but they're things like patience, peace, kindness, joy, happiness, goodness, self-control, self-sacrifice. Who doesn't want more of that in their lives? He prays for their character, that they will become more like Christ. So for this week, that's what we focus on. We want to grow in gratitude using this letter from St. Paul as a template. Think of that one person you need to thank, because every time you think of them, you are grateful for them being part of your life, past or present. Or think of a person maybe that you take for granted, maybe now that you've stepped back and thought about it, and you realize that he or she is an incredible blessing to you. Think mom, okay? Commit, in case you're really that thick, mom, all right? Commit this week to pray for that person. Thank God for them. Pray for their needs. Pray like St. Paul prayed for that list, that litany of things, okay? And then, before you leave Mass today, if you would, jot their name down on a piece of paper and either put it in the collection basket with their name on it, or you can hand it to one of us at the end of Mass. And we'll try to include that in this display of gratitude that we have for Christmas, so that the whole church can then join you in your prayer for them. That's your basic homework, but I know some of you are much better than that, and you want to do much more. So for extra credit this week, let me suggest that you take the time to write that person a letter or even a card, living or dead. Not an email, a real card or a letter, old school, and tell them why you are grateful to God for them. And then you have to put this thing they call a stamp on it. And you go outside, and for you kids, there's a box in your front yard on a stick. And you put it in that box, and somebody comes and takes it away. And then miraculously, 4 weeks later lately, in January sometime, they get the letter, okay? But they'll be behind, but they still do it anyway. And it's a message to this person that they mean enough for you to have gone out of your way for them because they have gone out of their way for you. They will remember you as being grateful. And at the end of the day, being grateful is not a bad way to be remembered. God has put these people in your life, and they have been an incredible blessing to you. They are instruments of his mercy and grace. And when we recognize their blessing in our lives, we are then doubly blessed. First, by knowing them, and then by acknowledging that God, the source of all good, has put them in our wonderful lives.